Short of a body, or some other type of physical hard evidence, videos and photos are typically the best you can hope for in terms of proof when it comes to cryptozoology. Now, usually finding the cryptid to capture on film is the hardest part, but in this case, it seems to be finding the photograph. For a little background, the story goes about as follows. Sometime in the late 19th century, exact years vary, a group of cowboys shot down what is presumed to be a thunderbird, and after recovering the corpse, posed around its body nailed to a barn. Although this story was published in local papers at the time, it wouldn't attract too much widespread attention until May of 1963, when Jack Pearl, writer for the magazine Saga, recounted several Thunderbird encounters from the decade, as well as the story from the 1800s, placing the events in Tombstone, Arizona in 1886. However, there's one key detail he included that the newspaper printed a photo of the marksmen surrounding their fallen target. He claimed the photo was published by the Tombstone Epigraph and describes it as follows. They published a photograph of a huge bird nailed to a wall. The newspaper said that it had been shot by two prospectors and hauled into town by wagon. Lined up in front of the bird were 6 grown men with their arms outstretched, fingertip to fingertip. The creature measured about 36 feet from wingtip to wingtip. Then, in September of the same year, Fate magazine writer H.M. Cranmer backed up the story and said that the photograph had been seen all over America. Cryptozoologist Ivan T. Sanderson similarly stated the photograph to exist, even going so far as to claim he once possessed a copy that was lost after being lent to friends. By looking through old issues of the Epitaph, they were able to find the original story, printed on April 26, 1890, but with no photograph. People began to search through old issues of other Arizona publications from around the time the story was run, to no avail. It was alleged that the aforementioned Sanderson displayed the photo himself on an episode of the Canadian television program The Pierre Benton Show, but no tapings of this episode have been found. In the 1990s, John Keel, author of the Mothman Prophecies, stated that he too had seen the photograph. When I was researching this episode, I found forum after forum full of people claiming to have laid eyes upon the picture, but were now entirely unable to find it. So, what's the real story here? While descriptions of the photograph are very consistent, the only details that differ being relatively minor and easily just chalked up to time's effect on memory. If this is all just a lie, thousands of people across the world colluding to deceive everyone about the existence of a photograph is far stranger than a gargantuan bird or even a surviving pterosaur. Now, something I've seen tossed around a lot in terms of explanations is a phenomenon known as the Mandela effect. The Mandela effect is the belief that mass, false, shared memories are the result of there being universes parallel to our own that are nearly identical with a few minor differences that wouldn't jump out at you at first. The name Mandela effect comes from many people having a memory of former South African President Nelson Mandela dying in the 1980s, even though he lived until 2013. Most examples cited as evidence of the Mandela effect come from pop culture, such as people remembering lines from movies and the spelling of different brands as differently than they actually are. Could the Thunderbird photo be something similar? A distant memory from another reality? No. For all my belief in extraterrestrial visitors and American ape men, I can't get behind the Mandela effect. Over time, memory is like playing a game of telephone. As you get further from the memory, you get further from the truth of what it really is. Many of the supposed spelling differences between universes stem from people assuming the products are given the common spelling when they are not, such as how whiteout is spelled without the H when many would assume it is. Many prominent followers of Mandela's cause did die in the 1980s. It's very possible that over time, their funerals came to be misremembered as his own. But does this leave the possibility that the Thunderbird photo is a similarly shared false memory? Well, consider the following. All the examples of the Mandela effect come from something being misremembered as differently from what actually it was, not fabricating something new entirely. The Thunderbird photo is a false memory. Where did it come from for so many different people to have such vivid recollections of it? And if it is real, where is it?